The Bengals 2025 regular season schedule is here. It is time to break it all down, from a huge road matchup to start the season, a holiday game, and much, much more right now on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Yes, oh yes, it's been a big week. From Trey Hendrickson and everything he had to say on Tuesday to Enter the Jungle on Tuesday night, a live edition. Got to check that out. And a quick reminder, you can take us with you wherever you go by following on Apple, on Amazon, on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. But let's dive in. And we're skipping preseason because there's no need to do that. But the regular season schedule is here. This entire breakdown is also posted at bengalstalk.com. But the 2025 Bengals schedule is here. It is schedule release day. It is here. I'm excited to relay the info to you. Maybe you've seen it. Maybe you haven't. I'm going to give my thoughts on it. But man, oh man, does it get juicy right away. September 7th in Cleveland to start the season in the land, on the road against an opponent that, let's be honest, has had the Bengals number for the most part, not last year, but for the most part throughout the Joe Burrow, Myles Garrett era. So a tough and interesting start to the season because it's Cleveland and then it's home for Jacksonville a week later. Back-to-back 1 o'clock games to start the year. I know there was some speculation about, will they play Sunday Night Football week 1? No, they hit the road, and not only do they hit the road, but it's a 1 o'clock game. A second 1 o'clock game, like I said, against Jacksonville week 2. Week 3 at Minnesota. I'm excited for this one. 1, I've never been to Minnesota. 2, Minnesota in September sounds awesome. And so thumbs up there. One of the more exciting road games. And man, this first month, like last year when the schedule came out and they started 1-3, so who knows? This first month, though, it's a tough start. At Cleveland, Jacksonville at home, at Minnesota, at Denver on Monday Night Football. And you're talking about now 3 teams that have either had your number or have legitimate playoff aspirations. And the Browns, you could say, they don't have that, but they've had your number. And then the Jaguars, I think there's a reasonable chance that they make a playoff push with a new coach and everything that's going on there. And then obviously Minnesota and Denver, really, really talented. So a really interesting first quarter of the season for the Bengals. And everyone's going to talk about how they need to get off to a hot start. So going to Cleveland, winning, finding a way to beat Jacksonville, Minnesota, Denver, getting wins in that stretch is going to be huge. And it doesn't get any easier. That week 5 matchup against Detroit at home, 425. That's a big, big game on October 5th. Week 6. This is the one I think a lot of Bengals fans have been looking forward to from a road trip standpoint. I will see you there. Bengals in Lambeau, Green Bay on October 12th, week 6, 425 kickoff. It's going to be a big game. It is. And it's going to be a fun one. Obviously, it's going to be an awesome atmosphere and environment. And I think a lot of Bengals fans are going to be making that trip. After that, it's a short week. I mean, so you have a 425 game. You travel back after that. Short week at home, at least, but against a division rival in the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday Night Football. And so, man, really, this whole stretch, I think, is tough, whether it's circumstances, division rivals, road games, to play at Cleveland, at Minnesota, at Denver, at Green Bay. In the first 6 weeks of the season, 4 of the first 6, it's just a lot of road games and a lot of road games early on in the season against teams that are quality, quality teams that are talented. After that, the Bengals will stay at home. So that's what's nice here is after that Green Bay game, it's Pittsburgh and then it's home for New York, home for Chicago before the bye week. So that's where they get their stretch. After being on the road a ton to start the year, 4 out of 6 weeks, then they're home for 3 straight weeks going into a bye. And those are some winnable games, obviously. Pittsburgh, and then you have the mini bye, and then the Jets and the Bears. And then they have their bye week 10, smack dab in the middle of the season, essentially. And then after that, this is when they're really going to have to make their hay again because they hit the road. And it's a lot of road games to start the season, and then coming out of the bye, a lot of road games at Pittsburgh, November 16th in week 11. New England is at home, and you got to beat New England. That's on November 23rd. And then week 13 at Baltimore. This is the holiday game I mentioned at the top, at Baltimore, Thanksgiving 8/20 For some reason, the NFL loves to put the Bengals in Baltimore on Thursday Night Football. That is a tough one. Let's keep it rolling here because it goes from at Baltimore to at Buffalo. December 7th, Buffalo, 425. Boy, oh boy. So you're talking about playoff implications. You're talking about weather. You're talking about potential, who knows, right? If it's Burrow and Allen, it might be number one seed. Certainly tiebreaker going into the postseason. Like there's a lot on the line there. So that'll be December 7th, 425, essentially a primetime game. And then after that, you have the Ravens again, this time at home. So think about it. Coming out of the bye, you have the Steelers, then you get the Patriots at home. Steelers on the road, then you get the Patriots at home. Then it's on the road again against the Ravens, on the road against the Bills, and then at home for the Ravens. And then the Bengals, well, they did me well, or the NFL schedule makers did me well because I was like, hey, give me Miami in November or December. Week 16, December 21st at Miami, 8:20. Huge game, obviously, on Sunday Night Football. Excited about that one. And then after that, Arizona, it looks like it could be a Saturday game, but they play Arizona at home and then end the season with Cleveland at home. So some other thoughts here. They open the season with Cleveland. They end the season with Cleveland. That stands out to me. And then just the stretches, there's pockets to start the year. It's really tough. At Cleveland, home for Jacksonville, at Minnesota, at Denver, Detroit home, at Green Bay, Pittsburgh home on a short week. Like that's a tough 7 games to start the season. And then who knows what the Jets look like? Who knows what the Bears look like? And then after your bye, at Pittsburgh, home for New England. And then this 3-game stretch, and really 4 because you're playing in Miami and the weather should be fine there, but at Baltimore, at Buffalo, home for Baltimore, at Miami. That is a really interesting stretch as well. The Bengals are going to have to make their hay early because this idea that, all right, well, coming out of the bye, they have 3 wins and they need to find a way to win out, and they have to go to Pittsburgh and to Baltimore in a short week and to Buffalo. Like, get some wins early on so you don't have to win 6 straight to squeak into the playoffs or stay alive in the division. So overall, the thing that I thought was interesting, we covered this on End of the Jungle, the Bengals are traveling the fewest miles of any team, under 9,000. There's no other team under 10,000 miles this year. It's like 8,700 miles traveled. And part of that's because they don't have an international game. But I look at the schedule. I don't think it's easy. I really don't. I mean, again, you look at it at Cleveland. We know that they play the Bengals tough. Jacksonville is really interesting, especially early in the year. You just don't know what it's going to be like with a new coach, but they certainly have talent. At Minnesota, at Denver, Detroit. Like those are 3 teams that all could realistically make the playoffs and be contenders. Oh, wait. And then the next one's at Green Bay. Really interesting there too. Pittsburgh, we don't know about the quarterback situation. So that throws that one up in the air a little bit, but who knows what they could be. And so your easy games in the first stretch, first 9 weeks, might be the Jets and the Bears. And who knows, maybe the Bears are really good under Ben Johnson right away. Maybe the New York Jets figure it out. Both first-year head coaches. It's tough to predict what the former Lions coordinators are going to do, and Aaron Glenn with the Jets, and then obviously Ben Johnson with the Bears. But it's just that, and then at Pittsburgh, coming out of the bye, New England at home, and then at Baltimore, at Buffalo, and then Baltimore at home. That stretch is really tough. That might be the season decider right there. Like, let's say they're 7-4, and what would 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Wow. I did that. Let's say they're 7-4 going into that Baltimore game. And what you do at Baltimore, Buffalo, Baltimore, like, can you go 2-1 during that stretch? You certainly don't want to go 0-3 during that stretch, but it's realistic. It's possible. 2 road games, 1 on a short week in Baltimore. And so you have that. Then at Miami, Arizona, Cleveland. Got to take care of business there. Got to end the year 3-0. That's a big stretch to end the season. So other notes, that Thursday game at home against the home game against the Steelers, rather, on October 7th, or October 16th, week 7, that is Thursday night football. So let me count them: 4 primetime games. Denver, Monday night in Denver. Pittsburgh at home, Thursday night football. Thanksgiving on the road, and that's at Baltimore, and then at Miami, Sunday night football. So 4 primetime games, 3 on the road. Good Lord. It always seems that way, right? The thing that is just wild to me is the Baltimore 3 straight years now on the road, Thursday night football. Just wild. It was a heck of a game last year. There's no doubt about that. It came down to the final play, as you know. So we will do the schedule game, certainly. Well, now that the schedule's here, we'll play the schedule game, which means I'll give my win-loss predictions for each and every one of those games coming up probably in our next video, barring any Trey Hendrickson news or other news. But please check us out wherever you get your podcasts. Hit that follow button. So go to Apple right now, or go to Spotify, or go to Amazon, or wherever you get your podcast, and hit that follow button. Please support Cincinnati Bengals Talk on all audio platforms, as well as right here on YouTube. For Andrew Fox-Miller, I'm James Rapien. The schedule is here. Celebrate, Bengals fans. And thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.